don't enter one chance, I swear, oh, now go with the go so. Herdsmen, they kill us every day, for them busy, they campaign again. After they failed all the promises they made, oh, then they praise themselves. Why the masses were supposed to give them the praises we they here they run to? Move it down. I blame it on the religious leaders. I blame it on the traditional rulers. People were supposed to fight for the people, they don't compromise. Shame on the rebellious brothers. People will cry with us during answers. Today them don't join those oppressors, they eat jealous. Something on the smell of. Very soon now we go perceive them. We have up where this government they cause my time bomb. It go soon explode. Revolution they come oh. It is very close and they feel more. When the power of the people we triumph, the power of the people in power. They no even care, they no even send. Say the people they die of hunger. Hungry dog is an angry dog. One day you go bite the owner. Idle man is the devil workshop. Many youths for Nigeria no good job. And the country the youths got no future. The country is gone, that's on period. Move it up. I blame it on the judiciary leaders. I blame it on the electoral officials. People were supposed to save the nation, but they collected bribe. Shame on the armed forces. People were supposed to protect the masses. But now them they shoot us anytime they hear our voice.
Kiwe wesu garani orianya nine oria nine nke purita kwasa mmadụ dị ndụ n'ihi na ọ bụ naanị gị bụ onye na-agwọ ọrịa ka anyị wee na-akpọkụ gị onwe gị bụ sunele nke ndị agha ka igwe mere anyị ebere ka akwa nke anyị na-ebe ka ude nke anyị na-asụ wee bịa n'iru gị ka iwe mee ka Biafra wee guzosi ike ka anyị wee n'ikpete maazị nye ha sọgụtụta na nsọpụrụ na ịja mma site n'ebighị ebi ma ruo n'ebighị ebi ise mma dịrị gị Chineke mma dịrị gị Chineke.
Are you still fighting the struggle to have independence for Biafra?
We are fighting for independence, not fighting physically with guns and bullets. We are fighting in terms of our agitation. We are fighting in terms of our belief. We're fighting in terms of our consistency to ensure that we are free, because we're not free. As a free people, we can afford to make life better for our people. Right now, we can't do that because of how Nigeria is structured and because of the very flawed foundations upon which Nigeria rests.
You called for a referendum latest this year, November, you said, I think.
Yes.
If that doesn't happen, what's the way forward? Because the way it looks like the government will definitely not agree to that.
Then there'll be no elections in Biafra land. No more elections here. They can put whoever they like in office. They can do whatever they like with their political positions. We will not engage in any political process.
You said it's a peaceful struggle, but
yes.
There are some videos of you appearing in the past, especially abroad, in particular in one conference in the US, where you said you need weapons to defend yourself, you need guns and ammunition. How can we understand that in the context that you're saying it's a peaceful struggle?
I'm sure you've heard about the Fulani headsmen killing people all over the place. Have you heard about it? Exactly. So how do you intend to defend yourself against Fulani headsmen without guns and bullets? They'll be killing our people, raping our women, destroying crops in the farms, and no one does anything about it. Is that how human beings are supposed to live?
So, and you have the right to arm yourself and defend yourself with arms in that context?
Self-defense is recognized even by all the known laws of the UN. Is that not correct? We have the right. If somebody were to barge into this very interview now wielding a machete or an AK-47, are you suggesting we should let them get away with it?
You were detained for almost 2 years, from 2015 on, and actually there was no trial. No trial ever happened, and despite several court rulings that said you were supposed to be released, you were not released. Yes. Do you think you were treated in a fair way by the government? Or rather also by the justice system? No,
not fairly, because Nigeria is not a civilized country. People behave like animals. They are not reasonable enough. They are not disciplined enough. They are not mentally developed enough to run a transparent civil society. For them, they have a feudal mindset where you have the ruling class and, a multitude of poverty-stricken people who never utters any word in rebellion or to even ask questions about their plight. That is one thing we are determined to challenge.
Don't you think you insult a lot of Nigerians with that?
I'm being very kind, to be honest. I could have used far more harsher words to describe them. I'm being very kind.
So generally you don't think very positive of your countrymen then, obviously?
They are not... When you say positive, no, as individuals, perhaps there are a few good people amongst them. But as a collective, this is an absolute mess. And you can see for yourself. Didn't you go through the roads and see how horrible they are? Didn't you see how unkempt everywhere is? How filthy and dirty everywhere is? That is the product of a Nigerian system that is uniquely backwards, even by the very third world standards of Black Africa. That's the fact, and people must face up to it.
Well, I traveled in the north quite extensively, and I went to very remote areas sometimes where you would still find Igbo people living there, peaceful together with communities in the north. Don't you sometimes think that you might endanger their peaceful coexistence with the communities there, that they might get into trouble with that?
So if they're living so peacefully together, or cohabiting so peacefully as you put it, how come you hear about all those uprisings in the north where southern Christians are being slaughtered and nothing gets done about it? Are you telling me that that is normal? People are in the north out of a dire need, necessity more or less, to try and survive. Because here, the entire production process has been emasculated by people and policies that are geared towards ensuring that our people exist in perpetual state of poverty. And that is unacceptable to us. What we're asking the world to recognize is that we want to live in peace, not in pieces. We want to live in peace, just to allow us to be. Allow Biafra to exist. We were existing before the British came. Just allow us to go back to, what we were before. No African came to Europe to create countries. So for somebody to just come in here and say, you, from today your name is Nigeria, is simply laughable.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us on today's program. I appreciate everyone for joining us on this very quick evening program. We are going to be as quick as possible because we had a very long day today during the morning program. So we will not take much time on this very evening section. So as you join, please just go ahead and invite anybody that need to be here. Share the program to all platforms. Share the program to family and friends. Share the program to anyone that you know that have some questions for us. Anyone that you know that need to pay attention and hear us. Send this very message to them so that they can be able to join us.
remember, in our platform, we do not come to instigate violence. We don't come here to preach hate. We do not come to our platform to attack people or individuals. What we do in this platform is to give room for Biafrans to express themselves. Give room for Biafrans to express themselves. So wherever you are and you have a question for us, you have a contribution to make, feel free to join us and make contributions, and we are going to give you that audience to say your mind. Every one of us is entitled to our own opinion. Whatever be your opinion, you are entitled to it, and you have the right to say your mind. So as we have come today, we have come to share views and to express ourselves and let people know what our own view is. So wherever you are watching from, I welcome you, I appreciate you, and I thank you for being part of the program. Remember, today a lot of things happened. A whole lot of things happened today. Our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu once again appeared in court. And when he appeared in court, as always, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu stood his ground, just the way he did the other day, and he has told them there is no case against him, and there's no point standing a trial where there's no trial to be made. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still standing on that very ground, letting them know that they have no right to try him. There is no law under which Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is charged. So today, once again, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was in the court also asking them to please let him know the case under which he was charged. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu brought the question forward once again today. And after many debates, they still insist that they want to continue with the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and they refuse to acknowledge the observations of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, which is a fact and a truth. They ignore it and pretend they don't know what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is asking about. And after much noise making, after much wasting time, they now came out with another adjournment and said that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be in the court again on the 7th instead of 6th, on the 7th. So this evening, we're going to try as much as possible to bring the update that came from the lawyers of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They have given their own updates, and so many of us have seen the updates, and there is nothing new. So many of us have seen it, and for those who have not seen it, maybe when we play it, sometimes repetition is for emphasis. When you play it again and again and again, people will now begin to understand what transpired and what really happened in the court. And we are still also going to try as much as possible to read out the proceedings in the court, how it went, and hopefully tomorrow in our program, morning program, we will also do the same to make people understand the situation in full, because so many people have not gotten it right. So many people have not been able to digest everything that happened. So we will try as much as possible to present this case for those who are not following up to be able to follow up and understand what is really happening. Wherever you are and you are joining us on the program, I welcome you and I appreciate everyone that has connected. Wherever you connect us from, I thank you, I welcome you, and I appreciate you for being part of this very program. It is a program where we come to express our mind, to tell the world the situation, to tell the world what is actually going on in the Zoological Republic. We will make sure they don't hide anything. As they continue to hide it, we will continue to expose them. We will expose them to the highest level, and we will not allow them to hide it. So before we proceed, I think we just have to go straight to the press release of the legal team of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, so that you can understand what transpired in the court before we can now read out the proceedings on how we saw it, what we got. And we will still do the same tomorrow for those who are not in this evening program. In our evening program, We don't have much people like we used to have in the morning program, evening program. Only few people are able to join. So the few people, few lucky people who are able to join will be here, and they're gonna join us. And we're not gonna spend much time. So I want us to pay attention and hear what transpired in the court and what the lawyers of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said. From there, we can now pick it up from there. So let's go.
Are we ready? Yes. Well, greetings, ladies and men of the media. I concluded today's hearing in the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and the crowning glory of it was that he put up a very good defense of himself, even though he was concentrating on the objections raised to the jurisdiction of the court. On that note, the court adjourned for further hearing to 7th of November. When the court expects that he will enter next full defense. Well, having said that, I know a lot of people have raised questions and eyebrows about the propriety of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu representing himself. It is his decision to make. He has the right under the Constitution to defend himself. And this case being politically charged, I think the idea or the notion that this is a normal criminal case has to be dispensed with. This is a normal criminal case at all. If you want to understand the complexity of this case and the true political dimensions to it, you think of the case of Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King, or Bafami Awolowo, Mahatma Gandhi. These cases were all politically tinged cases masquerading as criminal prosecutions. And these great men I mentioned, at some point in their struggle, at some point in their travail, imposed on them by the state, they took the podium and defended themselves. So a politically charged case often comes with some unusual dimensions like this. So because why? The reason is simple. Lawyers are restricted to very narrow wiggle room when they are doing a case, and that narrow wiggle room can be inimical, can be prejudicial to the interest of the client. When the case has a political dimension to it, that thing needs to be out there. That limitation we have is not expected of the defendant himself. So a lot of times, the defendant himself will make the best defense of his case at that very point in time. That doesn't obviate the fact that the presence of a lawyer in a case is always better. But in certain circumstances, there are exceptions, and the exception is this one is one of the better exceptions. Thank you. Thank you.
So you have heard barrister lawyer Jimako. He has cleared the air and to say it how it is, what transpired in the court, and why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has to take up the case. I have said it even before he mentioned it, that these lawyers has limitation to what they can do. They has limitation to what they can say in the court. There are certain areas where they will be restricted. I felt so. I said it even before now. And it has gotten to a point where they have to allow Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to push forward his case and be able to do what he had to do. You know, he did the same when Binta Yako began to push him here and there and begin to do certain things after rescuing her from the case. She want to force herself into it. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu took the podium and spoke for himself. We are still in the same situation now, where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has to speak up, because just as Lawyer Jimako have expressed, there are certain things they cannot do. There are certain things they cannot say. There are certain direction they cannot go. But the client himself, who owns the case, have the right to go to any length to defend himself in his case. That is why it became very important that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has to take up the podium and defend himself. And he did excellently well. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did excellently well. He defended himself the way it's supposed to be. He did excellently well. There is nothing to counter in it. There's nothing to say he failed or nothing to say that he made a mistake. He defended himself the way it's supposed to be. And we are going to get through some things that happened in the court as we saw it. Those informations we saw, what transpired in the court. Let me see. if I can be able to get few of them and read it out what transpired in the court and how it went. We read here, Justin James Omotosho is at war with those who promise him heavens on the earth and convict Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And now Omotosho is struggling to interpret the constitution of Nigeria before. Okay, yeah. You see, in the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and federal government of Nigeria, James Omotosho is the judge and prosecutor at the same time. You can imagine. He is now acting as the judge and the prosecutor. That when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu raised concern, instead of him to allow the prosecution counsel to take over, he began to impose himself, even forcing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to enter into defense, even when he's not supposed to. So he's now being one-sided. Instead of being a judge, allow the prosecution section to prosecute if they can, defend themselves if they can. But what happens in the court that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is facing the entire court, including the judge. That is what is happening. Non-zero nullity. The entire charge sheet is a legal corpse, repealed, non-existent and unamended. Non-existent and unamended in open defiance of Supreme Court order. Omotosho knew that his court lacks jurisdiction and there is no charge against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu existing in any current Nigerian law. None whatsoever. The judgment of the Supreme Court, 15 December 2023 by Garba JSC. So this, just the same thing, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu stood his ground and he never allowed anybody to bully him. Even though they tried, you know, they have been, they will always try to make you afraid of your own self, to make you feel that you don't know what you are doing. But when you fall victim and you allow them to oppress you, you are gone and you are gone for good. That is why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu never gave them that chance. They tried to oppress Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They tried to make him feel as if he doesn't know what he's saying. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu stood his ground. He stood his ground, quoting their laws for them, pointing out very important information to them, but at the same time, they ignored. They ignored. They refused to pay attention. They refused to pay attention. So let us go to this public briefing note. Adumbration by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in court, November 5, 2025. It reads, before Honorable Justice James K. Omotosho, Federal High Court, Abuja, the opening proceedings. At the resumed hearing on November 2025, November 5, 2025, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, appearing in person, requested a brief 5-minute recess in the judge chamber. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu requested a brief 5-minute recess in the judge's chambers, explaining that what he had to disclose might embarrass judiciary of Nigeria if said in open court. Justice Omotosho declined the request, directing that all submission be made publicly. Mazi Kanu then proceeded to seek to adopt his motion on notice and the accompanying written address, urging the court to grant the relief sought. Awomolo San objected and the court sided with Amowolo that Kanu should not talk about his filed motion, challenging the non-existence of any law, charging the offenses of which he is accused of, that the court will take it at the end of the trial. They are still insisting on what they are saying in that illegality. They still want to stand on that illegality and continue to try Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Then, Kanu was visibly annoyed, but he maintained a composed and firm demeanor without the session. Justice Omotosho was notably attentive and cautioned Kanu to keep his powder dry and to consult a criminal lawyer. Justice Omotosho flatly resisted entertaining argument on the constitutional validity of the charge and jurisdiction at today's hearing. Kanu, however, proceeded to address the court on the issue why he would not enter his defense. Core of the oral adumbration. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's address centered on the jurisdictional foundation of the case. His submission was that the entire trial is void ab initio because it rests on a repealed law, namely the Terrorism Prevention Amendment Act 2013, TPAA 2013, which ceased to have legal existence following the Terrorism Prevention and Prohibited Act 2022. He argued that jurisdiction is the lifeblood of adjudication, not a procedural formality, citing the Supreme Court in Madukolu versus Nkemdelim, 1962. 2 Sinclair 341, which held that a court is competent only when the case comes before it under a valid subsisting law. Argument 1. Jurisdiction ceases when enabling status is repealed. Kanu cited the Supreme Court decision in Afolabi versus Governor of Oyo State, 1985. 2 NWLR, Part 9, 934 at 753, where the court held. When an enabling law is repealed, any right, privilege, or proceeding founded upon it automatically collapses. It cannot be saved by judicial contrivance or implication. He emphasized that once a status is repealed, any trial under it is a sujure, null and void, since the law ceases to counter jurisdiction. 4. Argument 1. Section 36(12) and Section 1(3) of the Constitution. Kanu read out Section 36(2) of the 1999 Constitution as amended. A person shall not be convicted of a criminal offense unless the offense is defined and the penalty, therefore, prescribed in a written law. He submitted that the repealed status is no longer a written law, and therefore, any charges predicated on it is a constitutional nullity. Further, Section 1(3) of the Constitution. If any other law is inconsistent with the provision of his Constitution, this Constitution shall prevail, and that other law shall, to the extent of the inconsistency, be void. Thus, even a hypocritical saving clause cannot resuscitate a repealed criminal status, as it would be void for reconsistency with Section 36(12). Mazi Nnamdi Kanu continue his argument. Argument 3. Judicial precedence and constitutional supremacy. Kanu reference Ota versus State, 2016, LPELR 40077 SC, and Abuja versus State, 2002, 11 NWLR, Part 779, 437 at 495-9496, both of which reaffirmed that once the status creating an offense is repealed, The jurisdiction of trial court ceases immediately. The jurisdiction of the trial court ceases immediately. I hope you got it. Once the statute creating an offense is repealed, the jurisdiction of the trial court ceases immediately. A court of law cannot breathe life into a status that has ceased to exist. That was the argument presented by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He argued that by proceedings under repealed status, the court would effectively be enforcing a non-existent law, contrary to both constitutional and judicial authority. You see, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu making a very, very profound and genuine case for himself. But Nigeria being what they are, they have refused to accept the truth. But instead, they continue to chase shadows, continue to persecute Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for a case that is not meant to be for the first time. So after Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made all these presentations and all that, they still continued and insist on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu entering his defense. And the case was adjourned until on the 7th. So by 7th, we are going to see what is going to happen. You see the lawyers of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu explain. Let's see if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to continue or he's going to bring in some other lawyers again to join him to continue on the case. But whatever happens, we will continue to follow up. But I want everyone to know that the Zoological Republic have ended. The case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to end them. Remember the word of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He said, I will end Nigeria with the truth. And Nigeria is coming to an end with the truth. Not with propaganda, not with blackmail. Every single thing that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have said so far are fact. Fact. Every single thing he presented to their court, they are fact. You can't deny them. You can't run away from them. They have tried to dodge them. They tried to escape it, but there is no place to hide. There is no place to hide. Nigeria is not a country, has never been, and will never be. Illegality in Nigeria is smelling. Illegality in Nigeria is smelling. It is only a senseless and evil person that will still look at Nigeria today and see it as a country. Nigeria is not a country. Will never be. Has never been. But the time has come for people to take charge of the land. While they are busy crying about the decision of the United States of America to put them under the country of particular concern, what have they done? They have not stopped the terrorism. The terrorism, in fact, is increasing as we speak. Bandit is still running rampage across the country as we speak. They are still operating every blessed day. Every day there is an attack in one place or the other. Every day. And I want to bring the video of that our brother who always go in the front line to bring information. Let's see what that our brother brought. He is very updated and he is always on point, giving us information.
Nigerians, it is getting worse. It is getting worse. We are in a big trouble. Like people here in the north, we are crying for help. We are crying for help right now because our lives are no longer safe. We can no longer sleep in our houses. It is getting worse. Worse day by day. As I'm talking to you right now, there are multiple attacks in this region of the north. Today being the 4th of November 2025. And I'm going to be giving you details of everything that went down.
Just yesterday.
To local government, to the world, to everything that went
just
down.
Yesterday.
Today,
they have intensified.
Of November 2025. Nigerians, it is getting worse. Now, in Sokoto State, around 12 a.m. this morning, today is the 4th November 2025. Around 12 a.m. this morning, bandits attacked Uno local government area in Sokoto State. Sisawa, Gidan Faku. You see how detailed I'm giving you this thing. Gidan Faku. They unalive 2 people, that is, they buy 2 people, they injure 4 people, and they kidnap 10 people. This one in Sokoto State. In Katsina State, same today, during the 4th of November 2025, in Katsina State, bandits attacked Manufashi local government area of Katsina State, Dansare ward. Sare ward. The Sare is spelled as a Sarai. You understand? That's Sare ward. 12 a.m. this morning, while people were sleeping, bandits stormed that ward in Manufashi local government area of this morning. They injured 2 people and they kidnapped 10 people in that place. Same today again, other states. Same today, this morning of the 4th of November 2025. Bandits attacked Sabon Bini local government area of Sokoto State, Calgo ward. What I'm telling you here, I'm telling you facts. When I finish, you go and verify. I don't bring fake news here. Go and verify. They attacked Sabon Bini local government area of Sokoto State, Calgo ward. They stormed there around 12 a.m. this morning while Nigerians were sleeping. They attacked that community. They unalived 2 persons and they kidnapped 1 person from that community. I'm telling you facts, my brother. Facts. I'm not here to do what I did. I'm telling you facts, Nigerians. Facts. Because right now, I'm pained. I'm so pained. I'm pained. Now, still again, in Katsina State, again, Funtao local government area of Katsina State. This morning again, around 12 a.m. this morning, bandits attacked Funtao local government area, Maska ward, Melaya this morning, around 12 a.m. They unalive 1 person, 2 persons were injured, and the cattle were rustled away. I'm telling you facts. Facts, Nigerians. All these things happened this morning, being the 4th of November 2025. Nigerians, we are in trouble. The people here in the north can no longer sleep with their eyes closed. We can no longer sleep with our eyes closed. Bandits have taken over the place. They have taken all over the place. Nigerians, we need help. The people of the north are calling for help. We need help right now. It is getting worse. Still again, Sokoto State again. This morning, 4th November 2025, bandits attacked another region in Sokoto State called Lanjegu ward. This one is Lanjige, is a different place from the first one. So this one is Lanjegu ward. This place, they attacked this community again, 12 a.m. I'm giving you time that all these things happen. This place, they unalived 2 persons, injured 3, and kidnapped 15 people from this community. Nigerians were in trouble. All these multiple attacks happened just this morning. Nigerians, we are in trouble. You know the story. If they hide them, me, English Elijah, I'm going to bring her out. If they hide them, I will bring her out. I don't say no media will tell her. No media will tell you all these things. But you know the story. I got your back. Like I told you. If they hide them, me, Elijah, I will bring her out. So before I leave here, I cannot leave here without telling federal government of Bandito. For sake.
You have heard it. These are reports of yesterday. Just yesterday. These are reports of yesterday. 4th of November. And Donald Trump gave a warning. The United States want to bring a troop to wipe these people away, and Nigerians are busy talking trash online, even when they don't have a solution. Recently, I saw their headline in their conventional media that China is backing Nigeria, and I can't understand. I just saw that headline, and I have not been able to listen to it. And I'm going to bring that video from that place so that we can be able to watch it together. The headline I saw that China is backing up these people in their madness. They say China is backing them up. So I would like to bring their video. Let's see what China has to offer them. Let's see what they are planning with their so-called China backup. Let me see if I can get that video and present. Let us see what how China is trying to back the
Do you think when this news came out, some Nigerians said, in fact, the presidency initially said President Tinubu to meet Trump. That was the headline. President Tinubu to meet Trump. Now, do you think the president, well, that has been pushed forward or set aside now? We hear that they will probably meet at the G20. taking place in South Africa. But do you think the President Tinubu now, should have gone to America to speak to Donald Trump on that prescription, if you want to call it that, of Nigeria as a country of particular concern, finding a resolve those misunderstandings and sort out the issue? Or should the president seek a different route, seeing that he's also a president, seeing also the attitude of Donald Trump when the countries like Ukraine, the president of Ukraine and others visited him, how he could embarrass you if care is not taken?
In international diplomacy, might is right. You don't have a say if you don't have the muscle to face your counterpart in the Western world. Don't deceive yourself. Ramaphosa had to go to the White House where he was shown pictures of what the man was talking about. Is that not? So in your own case now, Tinubu,
and he was almost embarrassed too.
Sorry?
He was almost embarrassed by
because yes, I was listening to a radio station where Donald Trump was reading out the series of killings that prompted this in the day it happened, how many people were killed. And nonetheless, they were recording all these things, each one. The day it happened, where it happened, how many people were killed. So they were not talking.
So you don't think the president has learned from other presidents that have visited Trump and have been embarrassed on the international stage and decided, okay, I'm not going to put myself in a position where I will be embarrassed? I mean, we know how Trump can talk. By the way, by the way, he also called Nigeria a disgraced country.
Yes.
I mean, would you take that as a Nigerian?
Listen, you call for it.
I wouldn't take that as a Nigerian.
That one concerns you. But the international community are not waiting for you. They are telling you, look, before now, I've been traveling to US. If it were France now that we are talking about, the following day we have gone there. But you are now know that with what we are hearing from America and Tinubu, it will not be easy for even Tinubu to go there. Donald Trump wouldn't want to see me. Take it from me. I remember King Professor Bolaji Akiyemi warning Tinubu that, look, whatever you do in your presidency, don't offend Donald Trump. That means they have intel that Donald Trump doesn't like Tinubu. So how will you not be willing to go and do such a person? Look, what I expected from Tinubu is this. Start in-house cleaning. Moses, by now, I would have seen an order from Tinubu telling the chief of army staff, look, those people occupying Benue and Plateau villages, within 24 hours, dislodge them.
He did that already when he told them we don't need any excuse. We want you to make sure you work swiftly to end the issue of terrorism in Nigeria.
He was not specific. He was not. I said, Benue and Plateau have become a metaphor for this insecurity. How can foreign people, the government even said that they don't know where they come from, and you allow them to take over villages of your own people, and these people are living in IDP camp for 10 years now. This is where I want him to start. Mr. Tinubu, order the army to destroy these people in Benue and Plateau now.
Looking at the fact
I think from there, Donald Trump say yes, something is happening.
Looking at the fact that Nigeria, at this point in time, have so many of these terrorists now everywhere. They have infiltrated in almost of the nooks and crannies of this country. How do you then think it is going to be possible for them to end it just in 24 hours?
Start from somewhere.
Because today, we learned that some persons were in bed instead when they were in the what you think is another weapon they're using?
When you watch a snake, it will die immediately. It will still be, struggling for life, but eventually it will die off. Now, when these terrorists have a what Trump said, do you know that some of them started leaving Nigeria? But they said that Chad had to close their border. Said, no, you could not come here.
Okay.
Right. So the president ought to do the same thing. Mr. Moses, if we have a president that have the audacity and the prestige of Donald Trump, all you need to do order. Give them back. Look, you people, you are terrorists or whatever. Within 24 hours, if you don't leave this country, I'll leave it for you.
All right. right.
This was that. I see what will happen.
Thank you so much.
Have you done it?
Thank you, Barrister
You've
Darlington.
been afraid of mentioning their name. Afraid of mentioning their name.
Thank you, Barrister Darlington. Now, Mr. Famimo, we're looking at the sovereignty of Nigeria and the fact that so many people have come up to say we don't want to fold our hands and watch another country invade Nigeria. In the words of Mignot, who happens to be the EU ambassador to Nigeria, Nicola says that our position, I quote, is one of solidarity with Nigeria, solidarity with victims of violence, with authorities working to protect citizens, and with Nigerian people who overwhelmingly desire peaceful coexistence beyond ethnic and religious divides. This actually happens to be coming from the EU at this point when they frown at the statement made by Donald Trump about invading and bombardment of Nigeria. Can we say that the problem we're having is the fact that we have not been able to reach out to maybe foreign organizations and even foreign the Western bloc to say, come help us at this point in time to fight the issue of terrorism, rather than defending ourselves and making it look like we're good. Because in their words, they know that we are overwhelmed, more like by this unscrupulous element in Nigeria.
See, I'm going to look at this from two broad prisons. One, Boko Haram started some 17, 18 years ago. And you recall that when Obama was the president of America, Jonathan approached America that they needed armed support. And Nigeria was willing to pay. But because of this LGBTQ issue that was taken to Senegal and some African countries, that we turned it down, the Anglican and Methodist sect of Nigeria vehemently opposed it. And so Nigeria in unison through the National Assembly opposed it. And in retaliation, arms blockade was used against Nigeria. This was the reason why a cleric had to use his private jet, laden with dollars, to move to South Africa, and intel from this America trained him to that place, and he was arrested and money was confiscated. Now, what has changed then? You see, at the heart of all this, you see, for the fact that Trump came up with this threat, for me, on one part, it is good because it's a wake-up call for the government to do something drastic and ensure the safety of lives and property. The way killing has been reduced to statistics, as if there's no humanity in us. Those days when we were growing up, when we hear there is a bomb blast in Afghanistan and 10 people were killed, we imagine 10 people. But today, right in our very before, like Zimbabwe would say, we now hear 50 and it doesn't make any meaning to us until we get to like 200, 300. So if that will jolt, and of course it has jolted government, it has jolted them to action, good. But for America to come and invade Nigeria, I don't think it's proper. Now, at the heart of this, why is China and America coming to the fray at this time? Sierra Leone and Liberia went to war. And these are people that were forcibly migrated back to West Africa after the slave trade. For 9 years, there was too much in these two countries. America never showed up because there is nothing they want to benefit from Nigeria or reality. But in less than 72 hours after the invasion of Kuwait by Iraq, because of mineral deposits, they went after Iraq. Today, as we say, the rest is history. Xi hosted Trump in China days after, relying on intel that China has dominated West Africa, Africa, and Nigeria and he wanted again to change. This was the same West that they gave stringent conditions before we could access loan. And China was, at that time, ready to give us at generous terms. So, today, China is not even a friend of Nigeria as we speak, but at least
It's a business partner.
they are business partner.
Exactly.
Now, America woke up very late in the day to realize that China has dominated Africa, and now it's now becoming those things that we read in this in secondary school, the scramble for Africa. So, at the heart of all this is scramble for Nigeria, not because Christians are key.
You see, this is the new script they wrote for them. You know, Nigerian media are stupid. These are a bunch of idiots. Nigerian, they have written, this is a new script that was written from Asarok. Go and check all Nigerian media platform. This is the topic they are discussing. China supporting Nigeria. China supporting, go and check their title. All the Nigerian media. This is the script they wrote for them from Asarok. And they were preaching this nonsense. Who cares about your mineral? This bunch of idiots that are defending this thing, what have you benefited from that resources? China is borrowing money. Did you ask what that money was done with? Where did they invest that money? Do you know what it will cost to pay that money? China came and put debt upon the poor masses. They put debt, dashing money to the rich to continue to be rich. And look at them coming to make that as an example. Nigeria is hell. Nigeria is not supposed to be even for another second. You can imagine the narrative they are pushing. You can imagine the narrative, just they make themselves, they want to sound eloquent. They want to confuse the masses. They want to confuse. Who are you going to confuse? The money you borrow from China, you claim you borrow. What did you do with it? What is the condition of borrowing that money? Where did you invest it? That is the question. The business you are doing with China, how did you sign it? What was signed? On which tribe? What language? On what times did you go into it? You see how desperate Nigerian government is in pushing different narrative. They tried this, it doesn't work. They have tried to blackmail Christianity. They went and brought pastors, brought reverends, and they talk. And the people said no. Evidence is overwhelming. Evidence is shelle. They can't stop it. Now they can't deviate again. Now they are not talking about, oh, China, the US is coming to battle with China for Nigeria. Battle what? If China meant well, don't you ask, why is it that China is not concerned about the bloodletting in Nigeria, even with their presence? Why is it they just focused on doing business with the government, and the masses, the people themselves, the ordinary people are dying on a daily basis? They don't make any effort. They don't make any effort, no move at all to support the masses. And you're not concerned. Now there's people who care, who have come to do something that will affect the ordinary people, safety and security. Now you want to twist the mind as if you are talking to idiots. These poor masses that are being murdered every day, what benefit, what gain have they gotten from the money you're putting from China? The business you're doing from China, what gain does an ordinary Nigerian benefit from it? How? Tell me, how do they benefit? God have mercy on you, idiots.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kanu. Thank you. Let's get your opinion on this, lefties or Mojibwe. Nigeria at this point in time is a country of particular concern. And we know the implication, especially the economic implication of that, and the fact that US might move to stop most of the aid that they're bringing to Nigeria at this point. What do you think we should do, differently to make sure that, this is not the first time I would have said that we designated, because before now, where once a country of particular concern for like a year, before later it was pulled out, and now we're seeing us going back again to that particular position. What are we going to do different at this point to make sure we regain the trust, especially when it gets to international, space?
First of all, thank you for the question. Let me comment the last speaker that spoke my mind. It spoke in my mind. But let's ask. First of all, need to look internally. We need to look internally. We should not, because that both China and America will not save Nigeria, they will not start Nigeria, they will not help Nigeria. Let us look within. Let us stop borrowing and borrowing and borrowing. I don't know what is that borrowing, but let us limit the level of borrowing. Let us look internally. Let us concentrate on another lot for Dangote finally. They are building, they are expanding their bank, they are doing a lot. Now, to try and strengthen Naira. We should not depend solely on other. We should diversify. We should talk about that currency. We should look internally because it comes within. It is not outside we get salvation. We should look within ourselves and we can get salvation when we look closely within ourselves. We should fight insecurity. Not the one that IPOB is doing in the southeast. Communities have been sacked in the southeast. We should not concentrate on the north. We from the south, we always put our mouth in the north. In the south, are we secured in the south? In the southern part of the are we secured?
You see the idiot. See this idiot.
Yes, that's not. We should look at all the geographical zone of Nigeria. The south, southwest, northeast, north central, southeast. All of them, the middle belt. Yes, there are killings everywhere. The government should tighten their belt. The government flop our security system. They should rejig our security system. They should remove the bad architecture. Because intelligence is very big. We still have military men. Military men that are not loyal to the country. They are loyal to their ethnic belongings. And from the north are loyal to their northern side. So when they see terrorists, they are terrorists that their tribe we know. They go terrorists that soldiers want to come and strike. And they give information to terrorists that yes, soldiers want to this and what they the southeast. Are they free? Communities have been rendered desolate. We do not focus in the north only. There is security in the past. Like in the state today, go to our bushes. People cannot travel freely.
I know say na Edo idiot go dey talk like this.
Yes, we need partner, we need understanding.
These Edo people, I don't know how they are so empty and senseless. I don't know how they are so empty and senseless. I don't know what is wrong with these Edo people. I don't know why people from Edo State cannot conduct themselves when they speak. Look at the whole thing, he's shouting and making noise. He couldn't even make any sense. He would grab here, and he forgot his own Edo State. You didn't talk about your Edo State. You are busy calling about Southeast, calling about what is IPOB is doing. He was very quick to launch into IPOB and condemn IPOB. What is IPOB doing? The insecurity in the Southeast is caused by the federal government of Nigeria. The insecurity in Biafra land today is caused by Nigerian federal government. We have evidence, more than enough evidence. But this man could not focus on his own Edo State that is being ravaged. His own Edo State where they burnt people alive. He's not concerned about that. But he was quick to throw jab on the Biafrans. I don't know what is wrong with some of them in that Edo State. I don't know what is wrong with some of them. Some of them, their brain is empty. They can't even make a constructive argument. Look at how he's shouting, whoa, 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 whoa. After shouting, it makes no sense.
We can do it on our own.
How?
All right, then. Thank you very much,
How?
Omajabe. Mr. Honeymo, let me come back to you now. The US is threatening to stop aid to Nigeria. To stop aid to Nigeria.
Okay. We have started already.
Everything. And that's going to be huge. That will be quite impactful because between 2015 and 2024, Nigeria has received aid from the United States, either through US aid or US Department of State, to the tune of $7.8 billion. If that is stopped, where would that put Nigeria?
Imagine the money they mentioned.
China?
Where did they put the money?
You see, for me, we are bringing us to the economic side of these threats.
Because we have to look at it.
Yes. Somebody was discussing with me last night, a friend based in Canada, and he opened my eyes to the economic threats. You see, let's give it to Dangote and the others like Boa, and they think there is this game around the state as it's pushing for 100,000 barrels a day. We imagine that I've not seen a baby that is being fed with feeding bottle, and that baby halfway you remove the feeding bottle and that baby will not cry. On the economic front, that is what is happening now. Who would have thought that at this time that Nigeria would be a net exporter of refined products? Now, it's going to be a game changer. By the time we have like 3-4 refineries with combined capacity for about 2 million barrels per day in Nigeria, we will be a major exporter of refined products.
At the moment.
You see, there's no way.
It's still seeking loans.
Stop it. You see, there's no way. Stop.
You see this bunch of idiots, they will never talk about the solution. Trump gave a word, a simple thing: fix your insecurity or else. Fix your insecurity or else action will be taken. So from all the discussion you are seeing in the media, they are not ready to fix it. They are not ready to do anything. They just sit back and continue to collect loan and loan and loan. No plan, no strategy, nothing to make things. In short, nobody is ready to do anything. And that is what their media is showing us. They come to the media, they say, look at the other one, talk that Idoma and shouting and shouting and shouting. We can do it, we can do it. You have been independent for 60-something years now. 60-something years. Yet, you can't even produce the food. You can't produce toothpick. Look at what this one is talking. Every time it's oil. Every time oil. And that is why they don't want the Biafrans to leave. Every time it's oil. They can never think outside the box. What a shame of a country. When I see them speak, it's very irritating.
We will not assail Nigeria. If anybody is saying it is not true, if anybody is saying otherwise, it's not true. But how well we creatively manage the backlash depends on the proactive nature of policies that will be shown out by the government at this point in time. For me, while looking eastwards to cushion the effect of whatever America is bringing, we also should begin to creatively manage our internal resources to be able to take care of some of these results that we will likely get as a result of this blockage. Trump came and states were blocked. But as we speak, Nigeria has creatively managed the issue of HIV and is not escalated creatively. Yes. What I mean by that is they are pushing resources to ensure that they scale through the subsidy sector to scale down the amount you spend if somebody is HIV positive. Today, the market value any of the you are not a carrier, so you will not know.
Oh, okay.
You are not a carrier, you will not know.
So tell me, are we
we've not even accepted traditional medicine in full space.
We have not accepted any.
Accept traditional medicine in full
Traditional medicine.
Oh.
Who are the way as we're talking in Nigeria? Those who assess it, they will not come and tell you. So it's not what we are saying generally is
you see how they tell lies.
If it comes to
you see how they tell lies in national TV.
It would affect us. Okay. But we can manage it. Oh, we can. And we should be able to manage it.
I like that. Very optimistic. Barrister Darlington, good. Let's have your reaction to the aid. We're talking $7.8 billion US dollars from 2015 to 2024 and more that has been coming. If all of it is stopped, where does that put us? And let's have that with your conclusion on this conversation.
It's already stopped. Even as we speak, the government has not sent the bill for another money to be borrowed to the National Assembly. That means the borrowing will not stop. But what does that tell you about Nigerian government? The level of profligacy is so much, so annoying. Look, Moses, as I speak with you now, this government is looking for 210 trillion that was missing from NNPC. And nobody has seen it as a very big issue. 210 trillion naira. With that kind of money, do you need to borrow? Why not look for it? Did America collect the money from you? Is it not within Nigeria that some people are giving that money? Why not look for it? Mr. Moses, why not look for it? Because it happened within 10 years of this APC administration. And so you left it. You are not talking about it. Rather, you want to go and borrow. So what is the guarantee that when you borrow this money, it will not go the way of this 210 billion naira? You can see that we are our own worst enemy. Yet we keep blaming the Western power, blaming China, blaming everybody. They want to take economy. They want to do this. If you don't put your hands in order, I will now come in to help you.
All right.
So we are our own enemy. Let nobody blame. Whatever happened in Nigeria today is man-made. Whatever, economically, politically, whatever, it is man-made. We created it. We saw when it happened, but everybody kept quiet. We are pampering it, trying to defend it, trying to say whatever. Like somebody said that there is nothing wrong with borrowing. Everybody, there is nothing wrong with borrowing. Are you serious? The one you borrowed, where is it? That's the first question. The National Assembly don't ask the question. Whenever they bring me for the borrow money, they approve it. They don't ask this money. The one we're actually looking for, who is with it? NNPC. Give us details of that money. Can you take such an amount of money from Chinese government? Can anybody see that kind of money in America? You can see now. You can see how you have made we have made this country look like a joke. And we are blaming Trump and whoever. Look, more will come. With the way things are, because this government has not learned any lesson. Look at, we are talking about a big problem here. You are going to borrow money again. Shamelessly.
All right then. Well, this would be a good place to anchor this conversation.
You have had it. We will continue to bring them, and you will see for yourself, and the whole world will be watching. We will say Nigeria is a failed state. It is not a propaganda. It is not a blackmail. It is not out of hatred. It is a fact that Nigeria is a failed state. And every single day you go to their conventional media, you hear them speak. You will understand. Look at the narrative they are creating. Go to all their platform today in order to talk down on the help that is coming from the US. To speak against the help. They are telling you that China is doing this for them. China is doing that. America is coming to compete with China. You borrow. What did you do with the money from the China? This China you're talking about, why didn't China see the insecurity that is happening? Is China not present in Nigeria? They are seeing the kidnapping, the huge insecurity that is happening. Why didn't they help you to tackle it? Why didn't they participate? It is so sad. It is so sad. And I pray that by the grace of Chukwu Kabiam, every one of us will overcome this very challenge that is before us. I can see my brother Maxwell there. My brother Maxwell, I have already finished the program. It's only one hour program in the evening, and I have already stayed more than 1 hour. I'm rounding up now. I can see you there, my brother Maxwell. Hope to see you tomorrow morning. We were there in morning today. We spent 5 good hours in the morning program today, more than 5 hours. So this evening program, I take it 1 hour, not more than 1 hour, sometimes just 1 hour, some minutes, and then I end this. Thank you so much, my brother Maxwell. I can see you there. I appreciate you, and I thank everybody that have joined me on this program this evening. May Chukwu guide and protect every one of you. Thank you so much for being part of the program. Remain steadfast. Our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have made himself clear, and he has said what he has said. We are going to see what is going to happen on the 7th when he's going to come back to court. On the 7th, then we'll see how he's going to enter. Whether he's going to take some lawyers to go into defense, or he will continue to stand on the grandstand, or the judge is going to take another step. Let us continue to watch and see what will happen on the 7th. Thank you so much for watching. May Chukwukama bless every one of you, and may Chukwukama bless our leaders, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Mazi Simon Ebanjoko. I pray that Chukwukama will strengthen them, keep them for us until they join us very soon. Thank you so much for being part of this program. See you tomorrow morning, and stay blessed. Good night, everybody.
Nigeria don't enter one chance, I swear. Now go with the go so. Yes, men, they kill us every day, for them busy, they campaign again. After they failed all the promises they made, oh, them they praise themselves. Why the masses were supposed to give them the praises we they are they run to? Move it up. I blame it on the religious leaders. I blame it on the traditional rulers. People were supposed to fight for the people, they don't compromise. Shame on the rebellious brothers. People will cry with us during answers. Today them don't join those oppressors, the EJ love. Something on the smell. Very soon now we go perceive. We have up where this government they cause my time bomb. It go soon explode. Revolution they come. It's very close at the film. When the power of the people we triumph, the power of the people in power. They no even care, they no even send. Say the people they die of hunger. Hungry dog is an angry dog. One day you go bite the owner. Idle man is the devil workshop. Many youths for Nigeria no good job. And the country the youths got no future. The country is gone, that's on period. Move it up. I blame it on the judiciary leaders. I blame it on the electoral officials. People were supposed to save the nation, but they collected bribe. Shame on the armed forces. People were supposed to protect the masses. But now them they shoot us anytime they